Guys, keep trades. Today is April 17th, the last day of the week, right? Tomorrow is going to be Good Friday. Markets are closed. And we ended off this week green. And I'm going to show you guys my P&L sheet of what realistic, profitable trading looks like, right? You're not going to see some crazy high win rate. You're not going to see some crazy everyday green, every month green, right? Let's show you what realistic trading could look like and how you can really make this a reality for yourself. But let's get into the setup today. Again, look at the last 2 days. It's the same exact setup. It'll play out. So my plan for the day was this. Rejected off a 4-hour fair value gap. I want to see sellers down to this 1 hour. And then once we hit the 1 hour, if we find buyers, I want to look for these targets. If we sell through, I want to see a 5 or 15-minute fair value gap model to short it down to these levels. So my plan ended up hitting. I wasn't able to get the full TP in my trade, but just a little choppy. But again, I'm going to take my win and call it a day. So coming in, why did I want to see how structure is set up first? Coming into the pre-market, we had these 4-hour fair value gap projection. And on the 1 hour before the market opened, we had these small minor equal lows here to fill this 1 hour. So my same plan, right? If we respect this gap, I want to see buy side here and buy side here. If we sell through it, my target is going to be these two minor 1 hour lows. So what did we do? Off the open, we saw aggressive selling through. Aggressive sellers here. And we left a 5-minute fair value gap, 5 or 15-minute that I wanted to see. So I want to see a short model to target these 1 hour lows. So got the 5-minute fair value gap. Again, classic model. We traded back into the 5-minute fair value gap. We got the inverse. I grabbed short at 18,420. I placed my stop at midpoint of this wick, about a 20-point stop loss, and my TP was here for 37 points. Bam. So I scaled, got break even. I moved my stop down a little bit in profit, like 3 points in profit. I moved my stop down to this low, and we got stopped in profit, right? But we know that this market hasn't been very efficient or smooth, right? So we ended up drawing once higher and then ended up delivering my targets, right? Majority of the time when we see aggressive selling, when we see a trade like this with equal lows here, we should have just delivered it down, and this trade obviously was going to pay 74 to 80 something points, but it's okay. 37 points, scale break even is totally fine with me, right? That's a setup today. Very simple. Sold through the 1 hour, leaving the 5-minute. We traded back into the 5-minute, respected, inverse the bullish fair value gap. I grabbed short at the retrace. Scale break even, full TP here, never got it, stop in profit. Ended up respecting this 5-minute and then delivering it, which sucks because I knew it was going to get hit today. I was just hoping that we could deliver fully, get an 80-point win, which is a banger trade, but it's totally fine, right? We've seen it in the past this week where we took a great trade. We had targets way lower and it just doesn't get met. It's a little choppy and inefficient. It happens. So what do you do when you see that? You size down, or you do what? Play conservative, where I end up scale break even at the internal low. Again, 37 points is great. But very simple setup. Again, that's how we end off our week. So let's go into the win rate sheet. This is every trade I've taken live on a chart. See the win rate overall. 3 for 6 this week. Not a good week, but still ended up being nice and green. Right? This is what realistically profitable trading looks like, in my opinion. Right? Some traders who are much better than me, much more experienced than me, they can win for a whole month straight. Right? They can win for 2-3 months straight. My strategy will win, 70-80% of the time, but I have two different models, so the win rate fluctuates. But overall, look at the overall here. We've only had 1 week this was a break-even week for me or loss, and this week was a flat-out loss for me. I've only had 2 weeks that loss compared to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 winning weeks. 13 winning weeks to 2 losing weeks is great, and you can see these weeks. Started off bad, right? Not a great week. FOMC week. End up getting a trade here, getting me green, right? Proper risk to reward, confidence in my model, and then no trade on Friday, and we were content with that. So being content with what we get, right? The markets have been very different since Trump got in office. They've been crazy. They've been terrible. They've been everything in between. But what we don't do is we don't lose confidence in our trade, lose confidence in our model. Right? This week, took 2 losses. It was 2 micros. I called 20% size because of the conditions. So I didn't lose much, but I was able to get it back and get it back and get it back this, and then it would have probably been another green day here, but it's totally fine. You can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 green days in a row. We see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green days in a row, right? 2 green days. You see this week, terrible. But we end up getting huge wins that made me break even or a small L, right? This is realistic trading. There's going to be losing streaks. There's going to be bad weeks. Overall, what do you see? We will execute our wins and be much more green than red. Right? That comes from back testing. I know that if I keep taking this trade, it's going to lose. But it'll win 3 times in a row. 50 points, 80 points, 37. It should be 80 points here, but it's it is what it is. But, it'll lose and it'll win you back way more, right? This is realistic trading. If you look at month over month, week over week, year over year, do not get caught up in a losing day. We lost this Monday, and I told the members, we will get it back. But we're going to get it back through what? Quality trading, waiting for the next quality setup. It's always going to pay, right? So this is just a quick review of what our win rate looks like. I didn't update it up here, but this is just a review of kind of what trading looks like for us. Majority of our losing weeks are small size. Why are they small size? Because of the conditions, right? So if you can adapt your size to conditions, stay a bit more picky, a bit more patient for the narrative in your setup, and still trust the edge and capitalize on proper risk to reward. This is kind of what it looks like for me now. And yes, this will look a lot better, right? Still in the early phases of a trading business. Business is very tough. It's ever changing. It's always growing. But I'm looking to cut down on, the first trade of this week was not a trade that should have. It was our model, but it was not, clean enough, especially with the conditions. So there's still some minor mistakes that are made. Overall, what do we see? We win most of these weeks. They're not crazy. We're taking very few trades. Why? Because this market hasn't offered me a lot of trades. But if we stay picky, we stay patient, we will win every week. And those weeks do what? It compounds. It stacks up. And then when you size up and get better, now you can have a small winning week that makes you 5K. And a big winning week that makes you 10K, right? It's part of the business. It's part of growth. Right now, we're growing in consistency. We're growing in comfortability with our execution. And then we ramp up size from there, right? But this is just a simple review of just what my P&L sheet looks like, what realistically trading should look like. And overall, look at the week overall, it's pretty damn good. Pretty damn good, right? But we're going to continue to get better. And we'll see more green weeks with less losing days, or losing days being smaller. Seeing 1 losing day and 5 winning days, right? We're going to get back on the rope and we're going to do great. But that's going to be it for April 17th. Short week, but a green week. And we'll be back next week for a killer week. But thank you guys for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. If you want to join this group, link in the bio. I'd be happy to have any and all new members. Until next time, guys. Peace out.